No, I'll get this. Don't get all like that on me. We've been friends since before we had memories. We've taken different paths, and my path has led to, let's face it, financial riches. And your path has led to artistic riches. So I'll get lunch because art doesn't pay the bills. Bathroom? You know, I've been thinking back to when we were in high school. You know how we both used to love talking about movies? We talk about them every day. We were the film nerds. We talked about how we'd love to be movie directors or actors or writers one day. But you were the one who actually had the balls to get yourself out to actor school. And you studied Stanislaw or whatever his name is, and Chekhov, and you did that course with, who was it? Wendy Hughes. And now you spend your life in share houses, living off a line in Neighbours here and a dog food commercial there, and God knows what else you do to make a living. Meanwhile, I, gutlessly, went and got myself an accountancy degree because I wanted something safe to fall back on, but really, I never fell back on it. I just sat on it, like a fat dog. I'm a partner now, you know, but what would you care? You wouldn't care. You shouldn't care. This does not concern you. You are an artist. I balance the books. I fiddle them if I have to. I do it for mining companies. I do it for tobacco companies. I do it for government. I do it for Amway. I have no shame. I have the money. I have the wife. I have the kids. I have the house in Sorrento. I have the holidays in Europe. But I'm jealous of you because you have something I'll never have. Integrity. You know, I'm cheating on Greta with my personal assistant, Nicola. I don't even like or fancy Nicola, but I'm having an affair with her because she is available to have an affair with. Plus, I fucked one of the partners up at the partners conference in Port Douglas. She had legs up to here and my moral compass is down there. And I've lost total interest in Greta, even though she's done nothing wrong other than be my wife for too many years. And I've lost interest in the kids. I mean, I'd love to have them every second weekend, but every fucking night, Jesus Christ. There's nothing to do in Sorrento, and Europe is a sewer, a fucking sewer, and I hate my job. I mean, I wish I could just drop out of what I'm doing and do what you do, but I won't. Do you know why? Because I'm too gutless, and it's a shame. It's a massive shame, because you know what? I'll never do it, but I want to write a film or a book or a play, but let's just call it a film because it's our first love, the magic of cinema. But it could just as easily be a book or a play, but let's just call it a film. Anyway, in this film, it's about a man, or it could be a woman, it could be a child, hell, it could be a sci-fi, it could be an androgynous robot. It's not important, but let's just call him a man and let's just call it a film. So this man or woman, but we're saying it's a man, finds himself or herself at rock bottom. Let's just call him the fallen one or the descent. No, not descent because it's already happened. So let's just call him the fallen one. He's experienced the fall and he's at his lowest ebb of his life, which could be mental or emotional or physical. But whatever the case, he or she or it finds himself in the worst situation he has ever been in his or her life because of something that happened either mentally or physically or emotionally, any or all, to him or her or it. That's how it opens. It's brilliant. Other plays would waste time showing the fall, but no, mine, chapter 1, line 1, he's already there, at the bottom. Now, obviously he needs to get himself better physically or better mentally or better emotionally, depending on what the fall consisted of. I'm not sure which yet. And so the first act, chapter 1, scene 1, he draws up a plan and he enacts the plan, but here's the thing. This is the thing that happens. When he or she enacts the plan, it makes everything worse. It gets worse than it was. He's fallen further down. And that's where the curtain falls at the end of Act 1, assuming it's a play, which we're not assuming because it'll probably be a film or a book, but we're saying it's a film. So then anyway, what happens then is he or she needs to get some advice because he realizes in a moment of clarity through the pain of his mental or physical or emotional disfigurement that he is powerless to extricate himself from the situation that he found himself in at the end of chapter 1 or scene 1 or act 1, whatever. And so he reaches out to the general community or his family or friends or aliens from another planet or his religious gods, if he happens to be religious or not. It doesn't matter yet. All I'm sure of is he receives a lot of advice, some helpful, some not. And this takes up most of Act 2 or the middle part, whatever you call it, the arc or what have you. And here is where the genius lays in my idea. In the end, when all is said and done, and at the end of the day, the best piece of advice he or she receives is, are you ready? Ready for this? From the very person who put him in that situation in the first place. You see the genius of this? The story writes itself. It's the moral dilemma of a generation, whereby in this situation, which could be mental or physical or emotional, it doesn't matter which, it matters nothing at all. It could be any of the three. Our main character, who could be any gender, any sexuality or race or species even, needs to decide whether to accept this advice from the very entity that is fully or wholly responsible for his or her downfall in the first place. I don't even know the answer. I don't know how it ends yet. I haven't worked out the last chapter or scene or act because I still need to dwell intellectually on the premise of the play. Because I still need to know for it to be a play, a film, that speaks truthfully to the hearts and minds of the readers is whether or not my main character in this film or book or play, but we're calling it a film, whether or not he or she should or would accept this advice. So what do you reckon?
Can I be in it?